Good news to Arsenal, they've gotten what we call a Caicedo transfer confirmation from Brighton that Caicedo is up for sale. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Hope you're really having a wonderful evening and it's all going well as you guys planned your Monday Kickstarter of the week, and hope you guys are really doing marvelous. We are discussing Mauricio Pochettino appointed as the Chelsea manager, as we are going to let you know how it came about, when did he sign these papers, and obviously the announcement and what he has been working on for the previous 2 weeks before Chelsea made the announcement. And Luciano Spalletti, leaving Napoli, has gone ahead and issued a statement on why he has gone ahead to leave the club of leave the club of Napoli and where is going to be his next whereabouts in his footballing coaching career. Rokani David is my name. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, yesterday Brighton played its last game of the season and they are playing against Aston Villa. Caicedo and McAllister were among those that really took part into that beautiful game of football. And Aston Villa beat Brighton by 2-1. Douglas Luiz, Ollie Watkins scored for Aston Villa, and then Ndev scored for Brighton. Now, after that game of football, the manager of Brighton came out and said the following: I think it can be the last game for McAllister and Caicedo at Brighton. I'm really sorry because they are two great players, but the policy of Brighton is like this. It's right that they can leave to play a higher level. That is Charlie Handave, Premier League and EFL accredited reporter. That is the man. So he was quoting the manager of Brighton, De Zerbi. Remember, De Zerbi told the owner of Brighton not to sell Caicedo in the January transfer window because they are really targeting to go to Europe, and finally they achieved their target. After achieving their target, now it's high time these two left. Let's discuss Caicedo. In the January transfer window, however much Arsenal came out and made two bids, that of £60 million and £75 million, Brighton was tempted, but they sat down and made a decision that Caicedo is not for sale. That's what Brighton really went ahead to do. And Arsenal said, we don't want to continue making bids because the third bid was put in the chamber, but Edu and Arteta realized that they have a very good relationship with Brighton. They've gotten Ben White, they've gotten Leandro Trossard there, so they never wanted to really damage their relationship with Brighton. So what they did was simple. They said, let's set back, let's go and get in Jorginho. After getting in Jorginho, then we'll attack the transfer window with £80 million to get Caicedo out of Brighton. That's it. So that was the plan for Arsenal, and obviously their plan might come to pass because they've been given a transfer confirmation from the manager himself that these two players are going to leave Brighton. Caicedo is wanted by very many clubs: Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, so, and Barcelona was so much in the mix of this player. So you might find that there might be even other clubs that are outside the Premier League that are interested in the player. But the huge news is that Arsenal has now been told the player is up for grabs. Now, what does this mean to Arsenal? It means Arsenal should go on and really act quick. We understand Arsenal is really acting on very many deals, especially that of Declan Rice. They want him to be the priority. But for Declan Rice, it can even take some time because United, that is rivaling Arsenal to sign Declan Rice, aren't having the money right now to sign Declan Rice until the takeover process is really rectified. But for Caicedo, There are other teams like Chelsea who have money at their disposal, and Mauricio Pochettino, who has just been announced as the new manager of Chelsea, wants to go on and really get in Moise Caicedo. So after Arsenal getting in this Caicedo transfer confirmation, I think the board is going to sit today and obviously go ahead and really ask Mr. Bloom, because Edu has obviously talked to Mr. Bloom on several occasions when they're signing Leandro Trossard and when they're signing Leandro Trossard and when they're signing Ben White. That is it. He has really been one of those people has been talking to, and I think he's going to go ahead and really contact him and ask him, is it a fact that you are now ready to sell Moise Caicedo? That is it. And if at all they are ready to sell Moise Caicedo and gives him a positive response, then Arsenal will act accordingly, because they need 3 central midfielders. With Granit Xhaka leaving, they need 3 central midfielders. Declan Rice, Moise Caicedo, and who else? And Mason Mount, or anyone else they are going to get. The Mason Mount is leaning on to joining Manchester United a lot, but you never know and never say never for any transfers. So Moise Caicedo is there, up for grabs. It's up for Arsenal to act quick. If they don't act quick, the player might be hijacked. But the beauty of all this for Arsenal is they had already agreed personal terms with Moise Caicedo in the January transfer window. So that is going to make it easier for Arsenal to really negotiate the deal, because personal terms have already been agreed. It's all about Arsenal going to discuss a deal with Brighton. That's it. And all of us been thinking that maybe Arsenal's first signing in the summer was going to be Declan Rice, but we might be shocked that Arsenal is going to go in for Declan Rice first is going to go in for Moise Caicedo first than Declan Rice, because this is a confirmation that the player is up for sale, And as he was signing a contract, he was told that we are going to sell you in the summer. No worries. Let's just sign this contract and you get some increment because you went out onto your Instagram and cried that you are earning little money. Then let's get you more money for these remaining 5 months. Play the game or play the ball, and then you'll find yourself in a position of obviously going out to play for the team that you want. So that's all about Declan Rice, and a transfer confirmation has been really put out to Arsenal and the other teams that are really interested in him. Then McAllister, obviously his father is going to fly in this week to come to England and his entourage to discuss a deal with Liverpool. Then after that, Liverpool will make a bid of £60 million that Brighton is willing to accept and obviously sell the player to that side. So let's wait and see how that's going to pan out. But it looks like things are really going on well for Liverpool, as they're going to make their first summer transfer signing soon. And we've seen Jurgen Klopp coming out and confirming with us that he's not going on holiday, because he had a very tough season for Liverpool and he has to go on and really make signings as soon as possible, prepare for the preseason, make a comeback that is really going to shock the likes of City, Arsenal and Man United, because they finished 5th and they're going to play in the UEFA Europa League. And we who support United, we've told them that the only trophy you've won is 7-up. You beat United 7-0, you celebrated, and now you are not in the Champions League. United, Newcastle, Arsenal and Man City grabbed the 4 spots of the Champions League, and you're going to play in the UEFA Europa League. Enjoy the music, taste the bitterness of your own medicine, Liverpool. But they're going to get in McAllister, a very decent player, but I don't believe McAllister alone improves that midfield of Liverpool. They need to sign a new CDM. That's it. If they are to rely on that team next season and they are not going to strengthen the position of the CDM, then Klopp is up for failure again. Now, Mauricio Pochettino has been appointed as the new manager of Chelsea today. A statement has been put out onto the website of Chelsea, and is going to start his work on the 1st of July officially. But Fabrizio Romano had told us yesterday about this deal that Pochettino has finally signed the contract as new Chelsea coach after verbal agreement reached 2 weeks ago. Official announcement ready. He's starting his job as Chelsea's manager next week. Contract will be valid until 2026. It's a 3-year contract. Here we go, confirmed. Now, this was released yesterday before Chelsea came out and obviously confirmed us. And you know, Fabrizio Romano, whenever he puts up a here we go, you just understand that he has gotten a confirmation that this is really done. Now, Niza Kinsella, a correspondent of Chelsea for the Standard Sport, has confirmed to us that Pochettino has already begun working with Winstanley and Stewart. He agrees on targets for a striker, a goalkeeper, and possibly a midfielder to bolster the team's spine. He's fed back with Chelsea players he likes, and they include academy-trained players. Now, working with the technical director and the football director at Chelsea is great, but Pochettino comes in at Chelsea at a very, very bad time because he has a squad of close to 35 players. You know, he needs to first get rid of 15 players, you know. And there is a player known as Mason Mount that Chelsea wants to keep. Pochettino wants to keep him, but the player wants to go. I think today or tomorrow, Mason Mount will storm the offices of Mauricio Pochettino at Cobham and talk to him and tell him exactly what he wants. Will Mauricio Pochettino convince him to stay at Chelsea? That remains to be known because no one is tall enough to know the future, but it looks like he's sold onto a move to join Manchester United and leave Chelsea. That is Mason Mount. So when you look at that, that's one of the equations, you know, that Mauricio Pochettino has to solve immediately, because when you solve that equation of Mason Mount early enough and he leaves, that means you are creating space for yourself to get in more money to spend in the summer, as Chelsea looks like it's just some £1 million away from violating the financial fair play rule, as they've gone ahead to spend a lot of money in the previous summer transfer window and the right transfer window. They tallied up to £700 million is the amount of money that this team really spent. So Pochettino also has to deal with players that really have to leave, like Ziyech, Eduardo Mendy, Chalobah might leave, you know. There are also others on loan, like Zakaria, you know, that had an option to buy. They have to deal with him also because it looks like things are not all rosy for the player down there. So that's it for a player known as Mason Mount and the new manager Mauricio Pochettino. But the task ahead of him is really huge, and we just can't anticipate what he's going to do to solve the situation at Chelsea. But we know he has been in London, he has done it at Tottenham Hotspur. He really brought the team back to life, and let's see whether he's going to get this team back to life, as this might be one of the last switches that saves the life of Chelsea, as very many managers have pulled out of the Chelsea conversation deal because of how Todd Boehly is really conducting business at Chelsea. And lastly, Luciano Spalletti has finally spoken out on his departure at Napoli. He has said, sometimes you part ways due to too much love. I will not stay, I'm leaving. Nowhere to change my mind. I told the club that I need a year off weeks ago, and I will not work at any club. I will rest for 1 year. So what he did is really right. That's what we call a sabbatical. If he's going for sabbatical and obviously refresh, you know, that's better for him. And having won it for Napoli after 33 years, that's what you deserve, you know. You've raised the anticipations of the club, the ambitions have increased. And if at all you feel like the club is going to sell players like Kim Min-jae, Kvaratskhelia, then Victor Osimhen, the spines of your team, then if you're a manager like Luciano Spalletti, you understand that it's really going to be hard for you to compete for the Serie A again and compete at levels of the Champions League, meaning that you're supposed to go in and really bring in more players, something that he doesn't believe in. And I think that's the reason he never gave the club. But I think, to me, it's because the spine of his team is really going to be sold. So he said that I need a break. and a break of 1 year, then he'll make a final decision on where he's going to be coaching next season. He's 65 years of age. Let's wait and see whether he returns very, very soon, or it will take him years, like Zinedine Zidane has, to return to top level football management. So guys, your thoughts on to Arsenal getting Moise Caicedo transfer confirmation are welcome in the comment section below. Go deep in the comment section and tell me what you think about Mauricio Pochettino being appointed as the Chelsea manager. Will he get Chelsea out of the football limbo back to where they're supposed to be? Your views are welcome. And lastly, Luciano Spalletti's statement he has gone ahead to issue on leaving Napoli and obviously going to sabbatical. Do you think it was called for or not called for? I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Muslims, may Allah see you through everything you are really urging for. I'm out.